women. What are you talking about? You literally sit there and watch and sit there and get your kicks off over women. The whole society is built off of exploiting women. Your whole podcast is exploiting women. So
what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Raw Reacts. I got a great episode for y'all today, but I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. I don't know about you guys, but I find it personally so entertaining when ex-people that, women that worked in the sex world, ex-sex workers, whatever, current sex workers, find out that the men that they want don't actually want them back. I find that very amusing. I'm sorry, guys. Call it what you want. We got one of those situations today. Y'all know y'all love these podcasts. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's hop right into it.
Okay, question. So if a woman, just like Melvin, just say a woman, her past was that she, just say used to strip, right? 10 years prior to me. No, just say a woman. Instead of it being Melvin, it's a woman. In her past, she used to strip. Okay. But now she's gone on and she's gotten her bachelor's degree and this, that, and the third. And her stripping career was what paid for that bachelor's degree. Now she's, graduated and onto her career. She meets a man. Will he look at that past the same as what you were saying is like, oh, I can't bring her into my future. She used to shake her for a living.
Correct.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and answer this.
Wow, I forgot you're here.
Hi. Yeah, because y'all be talking about.
He was asleep in the corner over here.
No, I'm just letting y'all speak.
Look at his eyes. He was asleep.
But yes, like Cody said, we do care about your past. Once we hear that you did anything promiscuous in the past, whether it's be a stripper or a prostitute or just known to sleep around with plenty of guys.
That's not what I said.
I'm just giving an example. That's an automatic no for most men.
But that's not what I was saying.
Including stripper.
Okay, but
we don't care. We don't care if you.
It's sex work. So strip work is a form of sex work, and a reason why. And think about it, like when we get married, hypothetically, say if we got married, you take my last name. Mm-hmm. So the last name means something. If you are a stripper, if you were a stripper, it doesn't matter. Your reputation. What I'm saying is your reputation still carries with you. Mm-hmm. So the person that I'm giving my last name to, I want her to have a good reputation, not a bad reputation. Now, if we change it, if we say that like the woman got locked up and did some time versus the woman that was on a stripper pole, we'll take the chick that was in prison rather than the chick that was on a stripper pole.
What guys don't want is if I'm dating a girl and she used to be a stripper, and I take her to an event with all my friends, the most embarrassing thing for a minute is if they come to us like, yo,
I was slapping her booty at that.
I was that thing bad. I had in a private room. I did this to her, I did that to her.
Twirling around like.
That's the most embarrassing thing for a guy, whether you ladies agree with it or
And the
not.
crazy thing is, she did all that for another man and didn't even do it for you.
That's the worst part.
But what if she did that in a different state and then you took her
It doesn't matter.
like,
It doesn't matter.
There's no reputation.
It doesn't matter if she did it in heaven or hell. If we find out, she's a dog.
What about men too? Men strip too.
That's why
and men shake their booty and men.
This is the part of the conversation where it becomes disingenuous. Literally 8 to 13% of strippers are men. What are we even talking about here, man? What you said was completely irrelevant. And yes, I'm going to say it right now. Yes, it absolutely is a double standard. Women don't really care about a man's past. They care about a man's future. A man cares about your past because it's usually a signal into what you're going to do in the future. That's how we think. And let's be for real. Even if you did care about a man's past, how many people do you know? How many girls do you know? Because I barely know any. How many girls do you know that actually go to strip clubs? The numbers are not in your favor. If 8 to 13% of strippers are men, how many women are actually going to see them? Not a lot. So it's a less likelihood that you're gonna run into a woman that's gonna be like, hey, look, I saw your man in the club shaking ass the other day. It ain't gonna happen, man. It's just not gonna happen, man. It's so dumb.
Well, you ladies don't remember. You don't really care about the man's past.
I know I'm girls, but I'm just saying you're so convicted with what you say. Like you say that from the deepest part of your love. But 9 times out of 10, it's. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, we're gonna say that from the deepest part of our soul because we actually mean it, man. What I'm starting to get from this girl in particular is that she doesn't like that men won't accept that type of shit. She doesn't like that shit, and she doesn't like that we say it with such conviction. Every man's gonna say it with conviction. Nobody wants that, man. Get it through your little skulls. Yeah, because you know what happens a lot of the times. Women tend to lie to other women and tell them that, oh, he's as long as he meets you and he falls in love with you, your past is not gonna matter and all this shit. That doesn't mean anything. You gotta hear it straight from the horse's mouth, aka the man's mouth. And from the man's mouth, you got 2 men sitting there, and you got me sitting here. And I guarantee you, I know a bunch of other men that would say the same thing. Yes, we mean that shit. We don't want no ex-strippers. We don't want no ex-sex workers. Yes, we're saying it from the bottom of our hearts, our soul, from the deepest part of wherever you want to call it. That's where we're saying it from. Absolutely. We don't want that shit, man. Get it through your skull.
But a lot of the times when it comes down to it, it's half-hearted with a lot of the things that you guys go so hard on. Because at the end of the day, whichever woman catches your heart and really is rocking with you, and you can feel that from the deepest part of where you just said that from, it ain't gonna matter where she came from, bro.
Yes, it will.
That's you.
That's you.
I'm not saying, okay, a full-fledged dude, of course you're not gonna give that your last name. You're not gonna take,
okay,
stop it.
That's you. That's your opinion.
I've never in my life been completely nude. Okay, so you're sitting there telling me that I would never be married because of the fact that I used to dance.
I never said
that. Sounds crazy.
Words in my mouth.
No, but I'm just saying. But you literally just said, why would I want to give a woman my last name if she's been out there? The last thing a guy wants to do is to know that the girl's been out there with another guy.
Yes,
okay.
That's what we care about. The same way you women care about a man having money, being able to take care of you, being competent, etc., etc. Being 6'4", we care about a woman's passion, her being sexual and being a whore.
Okay, so you date. Okay, so you date Jennifer Lopez, a Beyonce, all them. They wear the same thing and go and perform. Now, okay, just say the stripper is not a stripper. She's an artist.
Starting to be disingenuous again. Beyonce and J-Lo were never working up in some sweaty, nasty club with a bunch of dudes thirsting and throwing money over them, man. She wants to try to conflate the two as if I'm a performer. You're not the same as Jennifer Lopez or Beyonce, man. And even trying to make that example was just asinine. It's stupidity, man. Like literally, yo. Like she wants so bad to force men to accept this shit. We don't want to accept it. We don't want to accept it, man. I don't get what you don't understand about that, man. No matter which way you try to flip it, oh, she used to do it, and this, and that, and it doesn't matter, and no, you can't tell. This is what I really dislike, man. This is why I did this video, for real. I really dislike when women try to almost reprogram a man from what they already are. You're not gonna care. It's not gonna matter. Who are you to tell us what we want, or what we're gonna care about? What we're not gonna. Who are you? Who are you, for real? Like. You're a woman. You're not a man. You can't sit there and tell us what we want. We don't want no ex-sex workers. It doesn't matter if you took your clothes off. It doesn't matter if you was just doing feet pics. It doesn't matter what you were doing. If it's ex-sex work, period. We don't want you, man. Most of us don't want you. The dudes that do want you, you don't want them back. This is why you take such offense to men not wanting you. Because the men that would accept that, they likely are over-sexualized men that also accept other women, and they probably also cheat as well. A very low vibrational man is going to accept a woman like that, straight up, man. And they know that. They just don't. They can't accept it.
Stripper is not a stripper. She's an artist, a singer, and a Jennifer Lopez dead ass was just on the freaking Super Bowl stripping, dancing on a stripper pole. One of the Jenny from the Block. Stop playing like she's not a Beyonce. Again, but stop playing like she wasn't a Beyonce in her own sense. And I'm not just saying, Beyonce's a stripper, but she still wears that strippers wear.
So let me ask you a question.
No, I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, you guys can sit up there and try and degrade certain situations and look at it as a character flaw because of what? The sexualities are heightened?
First of all, a woman stripping she's degrading herself, not me.
No, that's not degrading herself.
How are you going to be on the stripper pole and say I'm the one degrading you?
I said you want to try and degrade women and put it as if they're expressing their sexuality.
Yes, you're correct. I'm degrading
because you're mixing them.
OnlyFans models, chicks that sleep around with 100,000 of men that are the town whore. Yes, I'm degrading them. Look, I'm sorry, but like women who sexualize themselves never been respected in all of history. When the
main thing on mainstream media is sexualization of women. What are you talking about? You literally sit there and watch and get your kicks off over women. The whole society is built off of exploiting women. Your whole podcast is exploiting women. So how are you going to sit there and say, yes, I'm degrading, because that's your whole niche.
First of all, yelling does not mean that you're winning the argument at all. It's a sign of a low IQ individual. That's the truth. We see that you're mad. We see that you're pissed off that the men that you probably don't want you back because of your past, because you chose to take the easy way out instead of going and working an actual job or getting a degree or becoming something that was actually virtuous or useful to the world. You decided to go take your clothes off and shake your ass for some easy money. Don't be mad because now we don't want to accept you. Because at the end of the day, if you do certain things in life, you're not going to get certain opportunities. That's just the way it is, man. And that's like that for everything, man. And for you to come up here and be so mad and angry and say that the podcast is about degrading women and men degrade women because they watch porn and all this shit, that's just a ridiculous, stupid argument. That's ridiculous and stupid argument because you know what? Unless there's something that we don't know about, Cooley's not forcing these girls to come up on this podcast. Nobody's going to these strip clubs and forcing these girls to get on the stripper poles. They're coming up there for a job, for easy money. They're doing that to themselves. So who's degrading who here? Because I'm coming to look and I might throw a little bit of money, that means I'm degrading you? Get up out of here, man. That's such a stupid, ridiculous, dumb argument. It really is.
Eve, that's your niche. That's the way you make money. Eve is degrading of women. Eve, so why you sitting up here putting shit together?
Women who do sex work.
Oh, you're degrading all of women because the women who don't want to stay with their husbands for cheating on them, you degrade them too because they're going to believe the women that aren't having sex with their women, 80% you're still degrading them too, but you're not giving a reason why.
I'm talking about women.
Okay, so women, listen real quick. I got you.
Adding other stuff that I've never even
Ease, I
said.
got you.
We're moving the goalposts.
Let me get some decorum.
No, you're talking about you put a whole list of things you degrade. You missed a couple.
Yo, mama, let me create some decorum here. Good back and forth. Good, I like it. That's why I let it go. It was spirited. So you said something.
Gonna be a clip though.
You said something to East. You said that, man, you're speaking with a lot of conviction, with a lot of passion.
Yeah.
And East is speaking with a lot of passion because this is how
I had to do it to him.
This is how he feels. And he feels this way is because he really think that these women that degrade themselves really don't deserve a good man. That's essentially what he's saying, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And correct me if I'm wrong though. One of the reasons why I think that you're speaking with a lot of conviction and passion too is because you are one of the women that was in that fit that description that was stripping.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay, cool. So both of you are speaking with passion.
Yeah.
Now the difference between the conversations and what you're having is I see the angle where you're coming from. You're saying that, well, you know, there's men out there, yes, saying this stuff like men don't want these women, but there's men out there that accept this all the time. Mm-hmm. And the reason why you are saying this is because you know what? You're right. There are men that accept women that do OnlyFans, that strip and do porn and do all of these things. Let me finish. Let me land my plane. I'm saying that I understand you, right? But the truth is, those men that accept you with your checkered past, you don't want them. You don't want those men. The thing is, you ladies actually are more attracted to the guys that has some morality, that has a backbone that says, listen, I want something better for you rather than that, right? So the man that would accept you with that, he obviously really doesn't want anything better for you because he's accepting that. So I say all of that to say, even when you're speaking about, oh, this podcast, and well, first, even before you get to the podcast, some of the things that you were saying were very true. You said that, well, men are exploiting women. Look at OnlyFans, look at porn. Most of the porn industries, the owners are men exploiting women. I 100% agree. And those men aren't good men. Those men, I would say, are simps. The men that get into relationships with those women are simps. But normally, those aren't, when women settle with guys, like when girls did OnlyFans or had been doing sex work, strippers and stuff like that, and they're in a relationship with the guy, and they're still doing it, they don't really respect those men, because if they really respected those men, I did a whole panel, I did many panels of all strippers. They know how degrading it is. They know how it hurts their soul. Like, I'm only doing it because like I have to. If I didn't have a choice, I really wouldn't do it. Listen, the majority of strippers, I've interviewed many strippers. Now there's exceptions to the rule. There's some strippers that want to do it because they like doing it. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about generally most strippers, most people, most women that's in sex work, they're doing it because they don't really want to do it. And when they're with the man at that time, the man that accepts them why they're doing it, they can't respect them because it's like, you're not getting me out of this situation.
No, that's
I'm
what
doing
I was
something
saying.
that is very degrading. So listen real quick.
1 second.
I got to go too far. I'm not going too far.
He's absolutely right. A lot of the times, like especially like I have female friends that were strippers in the past, and I know people of women that were strippers in the past and did sex work and all this shit. They tend to want to settle down with a man that's virtuous and it's going to be, faithful to them. They don't want to settle down with the guys that frequent the club or the drug dealers and all that stuff. They want to settle down with an honest man, and that's bullshit. Why should an honest man settle down with you when you didn't live an honest lifestyle, when you decided to take the easy way out? Why should a man that's worked his ass off and been honest and been church going and been a good man, generally been a good person all around, except the person that's not been walking that same path as him? No, it's not going to happen, man. And that's exactly what pisses them off about it, especially this girl, because she knows that in the future, she's probably going to have to deal with guys that are probably likely only going to want her for sex. They're going to cheat on her. They're going to dog her out, maybe sleep with her friends, maybe her mama or aunties and shit like that. That's the kind of men that you're going to attract. Like when we were younger in our 20s and all that shit, and young, like early 20s now, it was cool to be dating a stripper. It was cool. You dating a stripper? Once you get older and you get your money up, you become a man that's mature, that cares about his reputation, that cares about his last name. You don't want that upon you. That's a stain. That is forever a stain. It doesn't matter if you did it 20 years ago. It doesn't matter if you did it last year. It doesn't matter if you were in a different state or in a different country. The fact of the matter is that you were a stripper. No man wants to date you, man. Straight up, man. And they're outliers. They're going to use the outliers like Ivanka Trump. Is that Ivanka Trump? Donald Trump's wife, whatever her name is. Used to be in Playboy or some kind of stripper. You're going to use outliers, but those outliers don't represent the majority, man. It just is what it is. Y'all gotta accept it, man.
Very degrading. So listen real quick.
1 second.
I got
before you go too far.
No, I'm not going too far. Let me just land my planes. I'll let y'all speak.
Go ahead.
Now let's get into the no fugazi part, because you put the podcast in there. This podcast is not to degrade women. This podcast is to give women the truth. No fugazi means not fake, not fugazi. It means authentic. It means speak what's true. So I'm always giving the both sides of it. I speak about the immoralities that men do and the immoralities that women do. The thing is, when we speak about the immoralities that women do, or the things that men really just don't like, they'll say that they like it to smash, but really they wouldn't really take you serious. Like, I don't really like that. And you got ladies conflate the two. You think that is demonizing to you, but it's actually uplifting you. I'm trying to give you the male perspective so you can understand. So when you're out there dating and men are courting you, you can probably source out the guys that's lying to you a little bit better after this podcast. Because like, that Cooley gave all the game. You get what I'm saying? So this podcast is not to exploit women. Furthermore, my debating shows do much better than my dating and relationship shows. Yeah. I don't need to do dating and relationship shows at all. I do one dating relationship show a month. I do debates. So this podcast is not built off of what you're just having ladies on. And the other thing is, I don't pay any ladies to be on the show. This is not no simp podcast. You ladies get to come on here at your own free will, shout out your businesses, do whatever you want to do as far as if you want to promote yourself or if you just want to have the conversation. But I never pay any chick. So I'm not even doing this to try to like grab. I don't give a freak if no girls come at all. The podcast would still go on. So this podcast is not degrading women at all.
Say it before. Again, I said a Melvin situation. This woman used to is a statement that I said. Used to. Again, I said as that would be something that you guys would consider something that's a no-go. You screamed out, no! No strippers, no nothing. Now, first off, my entire career dancing, I never sold a piece of ass. Now, wait a second. Let me land my plane. Again,
we want to move on though, too.
Regardless of that. But at the end of the day, when do you cut off how much somebody's past really matters?
You don't.
You don't.
That's a good question.
You don't.
Yeah.
And so let me just say this one thing. Just because a man does not agree with what you...
I got to cut in real quick. If I told you, if I was dating you, if a guy was dating a girl and he told her, oh yeah, back 20 years ago, I used to suck eggplant. Would you forgive him? Or would you be like, no, you used to suck eggplant? Like what? Like, come on, man. Let's be for real here, yo. Let's be actually for real for the few women. And I know that a lot of guys watch my show, but for the few women that watch my show, if you agree with her, answer yourself this question. If I told you that I used to suck eggplant back 20 years ago, back when I was a teenager, whatever, would you be like, okay, yeah, you're fine still? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't, man. Let's just stop that shit, man.
What you did in your past or what you're doing currently doesn't mean it's degrading. Only you yourself can degrade your own self. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
Yeah.
A man has the right to like and dislike what he wants in a woman. You know what I mean? Just like you ladies have the right to not date a guy who's broke, no money, no car, living in my basement, who's fat and overwhelmed. Nobody ever cares about what women, say that they don't like in a man. But, as soon as a guy say, hey, look, we're not going to tolerate this. We're not going to tolerate that. We're not going to tolerate if you look like this, if you weigh like that, if you had this past. We had that right. But just because we don't like what you do doesn't mean it's degrading. Only you can degrade yourself. That has nothing to do with me. Nobody's forcing women to do sex work. Yeah. Nobody's forcing women to go into porn. Nobody's forcing women to be a stripper. Nobody's forcing women to do OnlyFans. There's poor people in different countries that come to America with nothing and work 500 jobs and make it without even getting one up in porn. So if you took that personal, then that's on you. Then you got to look yourself in the mirror.
No, it's not personal at all because my life doesn't revolve around the way you think.
You made it about you.
I was just stating the fact of the matter. You went very deep on it. I'm just saying.
You made it about yourself. I didn't know that you used to strip.
No, I was putting an example. That wasn't necessarily based off of anything. Like I said, I'm in a relationship, and this man knows everything about me and my past. I'm not. The only thing that made me mad was the fact that you went so hard on saying that you were just absolutely no. And I'm just saying that is not always true with everyone. And you're so deep on it. It's like when something catches your heart, I hope you don't feel the same way based off of
what he said is very simple. And the thing is, everything he just said, I'll sum it up in less than it'll be one sentence. Women's standards are praised. Men's standards are demonized. It's okay listen, when we brought that up and all of y'all gave y'all thing, I even said, I was like, this your preferences. I asked little questions, but I didn't try to demonize you for liking Melvin. Did I demonize any of the girls for liking Melvin? The only thing I said, I was like, well, you don't really care about his past that much. You're looking more to his future. But I didn't demonize it like, why you like this? Why you don't like that? I didn't demonize it at all. We don't demonize women for having standards. But once men have standards, like, I like this, but I don't like this, demonize. Oh, you're a misogynist, you're a bad guy. That's what's going on here. That's the difference between y'all two.
I'm going to go ahead and cut it right there, guys. Shout out to the No Fugazi podcast, man. He always dropping gems. I've been watching this show since he had less than 100,000 subscribers. But he's right, man. Men's standards are demonized and women's standards are looked at as like, oh, whatever, just that's her standard. This chick obviously is an ex-sex worker who has an issue, and she's probably seen in her reality that the men that she wants don't want her back because of her past. And that's just the way it is. It's not. Nothing's gonna change, man. Nothing's gonna change. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, baby.